welcome to another episode of Black Society's Healing Hotspot. I'm your host, Najee Talley, and today we have a special guest.
Well, Kenneth Parker, but I go by KP or KP3 Films, or KP3, or KP Ski. There's a lot.
There's a lot of KP.
There's a lot of KPs.
You get the message.
Yeah.
Today's topic is getting his point of view on mental health and digging deep into the aspect of mental health altogether. So, to start off with, tell me a little bit about yourself. How old are you? Where you're from?
Well, I'm 18, about to turn 19 in 2 months. Yeah. Freshman from Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is like 45 minutes up the road, but a lot of people don't know where it is though. And then I'm studying computer science, but I'm actually passionate about the videography, a little bit of photography too, just video creation in general. And the computer science is more like a backup.
Yeah, just
plan.
to say you have the degree.
And I say just to say it, and I mean, do I like it? Not really, but it's something to do.
It sounds complicated. Computer science. That means you have to go through like all the hard drives and then.
Yeah, I'm in the introduction class right now, and like if this was the board, I'd just be staring at it like I don't know what's going on, but we getting there.
It's okay. It's a work in progress. And also, KP has a YouTube channel, which will also be in the description below. Tell us about your channel. What would you describe the message that you give, or what's the goal for the channel?
Well, the message I want to send with the channel is basically being real, because I feel like there's a lot of fake personalities on the internet, especially with popular streamers, YouTubers.
Influencers.
That would say they're all living a fake life, like, and you can see through it. But a lot of those people, and I just want to show there's real people out there that live real lives, that go through the same stuff you do, put shoes on the same way, and also just showing my lifestyle, because I feel like there's so many people on this earth, we all do the same stuff, but we all live so different at the same time. So, just
keep it real.
I'm gonna say keep it real, and it'll be great to wake up with 1 million subscribers one day, but if it don't Mr. Beast blow up, I'm not gonna be mad at it. But
Mr. Beast just wanna hop on the channel. Go ahead.
I'm about to say, shout out Mr. Beast, and I was, hey, come to Beast for you. I need it.
Come on, Mr. Beast.
Fast way hitting like it. I need it.
Do it before I graduate in May. But yeah, and coming back off of your channel, he recently uploaded an episode, which you better go check out as well, because it's going to be in the description.
Facts.
But you talked about mental health.
Yes.
And as Black Society Healing Hotspot, I had to hop on that. So, what is your perspective on mental health?
I feel like mental health should be on everyone's top 5 of most priorities, because, or however you word that, but mental health, basically, however your mental health is how you function in life, I feel like. So if your mental health is bad, you're going to want to not do nothing all day. You're going to want to just sit there. You're just going to soak in it. But then if your mental health is good, or if it's strong, I would say if it's strong, it'll help you in life get through all those obstacles, because there's going to be ups and downs every time. But if your mental health is strong enough, you can deal with it all.
Yeah, but you got to have the strength to take on your mental health.
Literally.
Because sitting in it, dwelling in it, is not helpful.
It's like a virus, or a rat. It's just gonna sit there. If you don't treat it, it's gonna keep growing and growing and growing and growing to the point where it feels like you can't do nothing about it, but there's still something you can do about it.
And it's crazy because mental health, like when you're going in those down moments, you realize how time feels different.
Mm-hmm.
My experience with being in a depressive state, I had a severe loss of mine, losing my grandfather, which the crazy thing is today's his birthday, R.I.P. Grandpa. But that year was just a long year. Like, it felt like it would never end. And people's depression may be different, but it's all about how you cope with it, because depression affects people different.
Most
but
definitely.
Depression can be flung around in the wrong way sometimes.
Most definitely. When it comes with how people cope with it as well, I feel like it's different too when it comes to, I had to tell myself a lot, and my mom helped me a lot with this, but she was like, don't try and change the stuff you can't change. So like when you said like when you lost your grandfather, sorry for your loss, and then what's it called? When it comes to like death or anything like that, I realize yes, you can't change it, so I can't just like everyone. You always wish you like, oh please, just want one more day with them, one more week with them, but you can't. So I take the time to like tell myself that like, listen, I can't do nothing about it now. They're in a better place. I'm probably still gonna grieve differently, but at the same time, I can't stop my life because I know that's not what they would do. You know, I would have to just keep on going.
Going back in the memory.
I would say like
everything.
I would like live in the take time, think about the memories, don't forget, but also don't try and change stuff you can't change. That's what I tell myself. I would say, but a lot of people, it's all different. It's all different ways different people cope with everything.
Mental health is just so broad. Like there's
really
so many
is.
different aspects of mental health because then you have, we have the depression that we stated, and then there's also the anxious, and there's like 3 to 4 different types of anxieties that a person may have. Then you have the eating disorders. You have the PTSDs. It's not PTSDs, but the experience of PTSD. You have all of that, including many, many more, the schizophrenia parts. It's so much that goes into it.
And I hate it so much because a lot of people also use depression for attention. Like, yeah, that's what is it like. Well, me and my friend talked about this last week. I was like, one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, I hate if I go on TikTok or Instagram and I see someone posting a video of themselves crying to like a sad song, because I'm like, why are you posting yourself crying? I feel like crying is one of those things, like, especially like when it's a deep cry. You know how you ever had those days you just sit there and cry? Like, I feel like that's something that should either be you alone,
like sacred.
I was sacred to yourself, or with like you could be with your parents or just someone close with you. I feel like that's a sacred time, and the people just I feel like using that as attention, an attention factor. I don't like it a lot.
It's not healthy.
I don't think it's healthy at all because I don't know. It's just I don't like seeing it. Like
it's two sides to it. Really. Yeah, because some people post to show that it's okay to cry because crying is not a weak factor. Mm-hmm. But if you're doing it just for the attention part,
just for the like you start crying, you end the video, you wipe your tears, like, oh man, that was a good one, and then you start. I'm like, come on, bro, like, no, man. But
I'm like, oh, all right, next video.
I was about to say next, I'll make another one next week. Like, what, man? Like, come on now, bro. Like,
what is happening? Do we need to send help, or should we just let you air it out? Exactly. But mental health shouldn't be taken so lightly
at all.
It's definitely a big deal, and that's why I do the podcast, and there are other different people that are trying to be influencers to encourage to take care of your mental health. Yes. And that's the next question. How do you take care of your mental health?
I take care of my mental health mostly through my physical health, to try and because I feel like if your physical health is good, then your mental health is going to naturally be better with your physical. So I go out, I take mental health days, mostly every Sundays. Some people go to church. Some people do all that. Me personally, I don't go to church, so I spend the day to myself. I go outside, listen to podcasts like this one, or I don't read books, but you could read a book, work out. You could get off social media.
That's a big one.
Getting off social media for a full day, maybe 2, but maybe 3. But get off the social media. Get off scrolling through people's stories. Don't be liking all that stuff. The only time you should go on there is if it's for something motivational, something to encourage you to keep going.
Something positive.
Exactly.
Social media is just so negative. I must say. And it's hard to get the positive out because of how negative it is. Like you have the shade room posting somebody or somebody's business.
Somebody got into this, somebody got into that you like, oh, they don't do that. Like, why am I worried about somebody that I don't know?
What about yourself? What about us? What about your mental health?
Why am I getting mad at somebody for living their life a certain way and I'm over here not worried about myself? Like, I don't. Like, yourself is, at the end of the day, if we're being realistic, in my opinion, yourself is really all you got. Like, yourself. You can't change without telling yourself to change. Like you can get the best advice in the world, the best advice, but it's not gonna help if you don't do nothing about it.
That's big.
If you don't do anything about it, so you have to take those steps to change. You got to realize some of the stuff you can't blame it on other things. Some of the stuff that happens in your life is your fault, and you just gotta take the punches and grow.
Keep going. Do you and your family talk? Well, do you and your friends and family talk about mental health?
Yeah, my friends a little bit when the conversation comes up. My friends like it. It's more like a
50-50.
I about to say like we see something that talks about it, and then we just spark up the conversation. But the thing is, the conversation be like 2-3 hours long. Like they're just straight talking about whatever involving mental health. But my family, we use humor as a coping mechanism, so we don't talk about
deep topics.
like, we don't have sit downs like this. It's like, okay, mom, how are you feeling this week? Or okay, how is your 1 through 10? What's your mental health rate? Nah, it's just we would just be smiling and laughing the entire time at each other. Like if someone was like, oh, my head hurts, so I lay down there. Someone like, and then just start laughing, and it would just all be over. But that's how we use humor a lot to cope with anything bad that happens. So like if there's a death in the family or some big happens, we grieve. Obviously, everyone grieves in their own way, but we just and off we always think about the positives and just figure.
As you should. Do you happen to see a therapist, or would you want to get a therapist now, or what's your outlook?
Me personally, I'm not gonna say I disagree with therapy in general because I know there's a lot of good therapists out there. From my friends' knowledge, telling me how they text their therapist on a daily basis. Their therapist always responds, but I feel like a therapist for me, I can't get behind the fact that I'm paying you to tell you my problems, and then also to like I don't know. It's just like I feel like a lot of me giving them a lot of people the same answers and all that, and then I don't know, and they're a stranger too, so I feel like that doesn't help as much. So
you have to get comfortable.
I about to say you have to be comfortable around them. So, but also to be around them more and get comfortable, you have to give them
a chance.
I was about to say so. If it helps you, if it helps somebody, then yeah, go ahead, 100% do it. But me personally, I see therapy as I talk to my mom, or really just hanging out with my family, hanging out with friends, like being around people that make me comfortable, that make my energy go up. That's therapy. But I find therapy and stuff that isn't considered therapy. So like,
I'm gonna need you to elaborate.
So, what's a good example? So, videography, for example, right? Mm-hmm. Some people would consider videography therapy, right? But some days I just record. Like a lot of people don't know this, but I be just when I leave when I leave the house randomly, it's because I just be going to record. Like, I record the water flowing in the river. I'm recording the trees. I'm recording the cars on the road, and just looking at it, not editing nothing, just looking at it. I'm like, it's just peaceful because first I'm outside, and then second I'm just looking at Mother Nature. I always tell myself I'm looking at God's creation, and then I'm blessed enough to be living on God's creation and looking at it and hearing it. So that's one of the things I consider therapy for me. I was saying, and I consider myself my own therapist because on the days, my mental health days, there's times I just sit in my room, phone on do not disturb, TV not on. It's just me and myself and my thoughts, and then I just tell myself what I'm doing right, what I know I'm doing wrong, and how can I improve on the wrongs. And just trying to be, I can't be perfect because nobody's perfect, but trying to be as close as perfect.
Being the best that you can be.
Being the best I can be, being the man that God wants me to be.
There you go. That hits deep. That's what I'm talking about. Is there any advice that you would give to students or just society itself to try and strengthen or provide healing mentally?
Society is definitely take social media breaks. Doesn't the iPhone or somebody have like locks on apps that you can
there's a
way. I didn't think like there's ways you can do that. You set it to lock for a certain amount of time. Social media is a big one. Don't watch the news a lot. I feel like the news
I haven't watched the news.
I was about to say
a long time.
A lot of people watch like a lot of news stuff. It's very draining. Like Twitter, oh my god. Twitter's just
It's
Twitter's a.
the fact that we call it Twitter. It's now
Oh my
called
bad,
X,
X.
but I can't call it X.
It's
It just doesn't seem right.
it's not. It's fun. It's a funny app, but like it be.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I was like, get off X, Twitter, whatever. Get off that. Get off social
X,
media.
Twitter, tweet, huh?
Go outside. Listen to podcasts, good podcasts, motivational podcasts. Read books or audiobooks too. Nonfiction, some fiction, depending on the story.
It depends.
Depends.
As long as it's healthy, nothing crazy.
I'm about to say nothing too crazy. What else? Workout, most definitely. It don't gotta be. I'm trying to deadlift 1,000 pounds. I'm trying to be The Rock. Like, just make sure you just take care of your physical health. You know what I'm saying? Because physical health goes a long way, not just for longevity, but also mental health as well. So yeah, go outside, read, work out, get off social media for a little bit, and just take the time to embrace what you have in your life currently, and in the future too. Because where we're at now, I promise you, in like a couple years, maybe even a couple months,
maybe even days.
I was maybe even a couple minutes. You'll be you're gonna be an even better person. You're gonna be even greater. You just have to take the time and take the effort to put into it to become. Because I like God gives us blessings, but he's not just gonna give it to you. You have to work for it. He puts blessings. He gives you blessings to help you get to your goal.
Pretty much, put them on the plate. And he's
Exactly.
just like, you gonna come get the plate?
You gonna come get it. You can't just expect I'm gonna feed it to you.
Nah.
You know.
He waiting for you to come get it.
How about I say just. I'm saying work.
It's microwaved and everything. Seasoned well. I
I'm about to say fresh, steaming.
Come on.
Gotta eat.
But thank you again for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And be sure to tune into his content. All his socials along with his YouTube channel is going to be in the description. Along with like, comment, and subscribe to this video. And tune into our future content. Hope you all have a great day.